Welcome everybody.
Hey,
I'm starting this recording up early because we were talking, and I meant to say Dragon Ball Universe, and instead I said Devil May Brawl Loser. Somehow, my brain must be having one of those days.
so this is the first episode that not only will I, but Pim will also be multitasking while we freaking trade against W so we can beat him, I guess. I don't know.
My Xbox is in a different part of the house. You cheating fucks. All right. So hey, I'm Alex. We got Addy here with us. He won't say anything though, and we got Pink here with us.
I've
Hey
already said
there.
hey.
Yeah, Addie did say hey at the very start once you started the
But how
recording
are
up.
they supposed to know that he's Addy?
I guess that is true. This could be their first time here, and they hear that hey, and they're like, "What's that noise?" And then if we don't explain it, they'll never
It's,
know.
it's the running gig I've been doing for the past year.
Any episode could be somebody's first episode. It's the was that Jim Starlin's philosophy with comics or something?
I don't know if it was Starlin. I maybe early on in his career. I think towards end of the '90s, like basically everyone got into that mindset of having that one singular story always going.
Yeah. All right, we've got a fairly short topic list today, and two out of the three topics I don't think we're going to be able to talk much about. And the one topic we can talk a lot about is a stupid one.
And those are always the good ones, right?
Yes, that's why I must seek them out. So the folks behind Ark, Survival Evolved is the subtitle, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, have apparently released like either a beta or something for an MMO, a pirate MMO, Atlas, because it's worked so well for Sea of Thieves. And it's created a
Pirate
problem
MMOs, the way of the future.
where people could hack in, and I don't know if it, because it's on the same engine as Ark, supposedly, so people have been able to use Ark to get stuff in there or something, maybe? I'm not exactly sure of the techniques of it, but people have been
Yeah.
using it to spawn whales, World War II era jet fighters, and tanks. And
Let's be honest, it kind of makes the game a little bit more interesting, really.
it makes the people still trying to be pirates. It probably makes them feel like Old Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4. War is, war has changed. So there are a couple delightful Twitch clips of this. They, of course, took the game down while they tried to patch up the holes, but before they did, we got a delightful Twitch clip of a person in a World War II fighter jet, or not a jet, but whatever, World War II fighter plane trying to dive bomb a pirate ship. And not only do they miss the pirate ship, it seems they miss the water as well and just explode in midair. There's no explanation, which is what I like.
The funny thing about pirate MMOs is I'm actually in the beta for one right now.
Oh, Jesus.
There's another one coming.
Yeah, so remember Skull and Bones?
Oh yeah, I did see that thing, the unveiling trailer at the what was it, E3 or something else?
Yeah, it was E3 like 5 years ago now.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't that coming out at the same time Sea Thieves was?
I don't know. I know I did see something for Skull and Bones last year in June or July, I want to say.
Yeah, and then they just said that it's still being developed. Last I heard.
It's still being developed. Don't worry, fans. We've still got you.
Definitely coming
Maybe.
out.
Definitely coming out one day. Totally not being canceled in the near future.
The Elder Scrolls 6th method. It'll happen at some point, and that's why you can't insult us too badly for Fallout 76. So, this raises so many questions, of course. Chief among them, I've heard of hacking the game. I've heard of hacking online games. I've heard of hacking online games to give yourself, like, in-game level equipment, right? I've never heard
Right.
of hacking an online game to put in your own custom assets.
But the thing is, Ark is just such a well put together and fun game.
They
That's
couldn't
it.
have put that much time into Atlas because they had to put so much time into Arc.
No, they just put these things in as features, so they can make the quality of of these games even better.
Yeah, that's the train of thought. This game needs a lot of polish, so we're just gonna let people spawn in airplanes and whales and just have a good time.
Also, I just dabbed on you, Pink.
I noticed.
Okay, the audience gets no context for that. What you guys are describing is Gary's mod, you realize.
Yeah, it really is.
All the audience needs to know is that I actually swam through the whole ocean and I'm now living in Pink's house.
He knocked on my door this morning. I opened it up, and just straight away he started dabbing on me. I'm like, no, go away.
You close the
I
door.
cannot deal with this.
You open the door, he dabbed, you close the door.
Close the door and question my life decisions up until this point.
And then I yelled Seymour.
Seymour.
Oh, Jesus. So, I can't imagine how this happened with Atlas, though. What, could you imagine if this shit happened in other games?
No?
No, you really can't, can you?
I fail to recall any similar sort of situation ever occurring. There's no precedence here, I don't think.
The craziest thing I've ever seen with hacking was Team Fortress 2 on consoles. Some people were able to hack it so that they were able to turn some control point maps into capture the flag maps. But that was very rare, and that was largely just because Valve has abandoned the console version of Team Fortress.
Right.
Whereas this just came out.
This has just come out. It is barely out. And yet somehow we've got World War II planes and tanks and whales.
Well, yeah.
Specifically, the whales are specifically from World War II, mind you.
I thought you were going to say the whales are specifically from Wales.
Welsh whales or Nazi whales? Which is worse?
How do you know they were
mean,
Nazis?
Depending on whether you ask the sheep or not.
The little hats.
They could have been allies.
They had the little caps on. They had the little caps over the blowholes. Oh, that's the next Wolfenstein enemy.
How? And then they just had one of those like armbands, but circled around the whole body.
Okay. I was imagining one with a flipper, and I was imagining it with the tiniest little flippers. But it's a huge whale with tiny flippers and the tiny hat. Oh man.
Perfect.
Well, now I just want a game that's about pirates versus Nazi whales.
Arc. Atlas could have given it to you, but no.
The devs had to deny us.
Yep.
I'd be curious, to see it, you know how with Street Fighter, combos were an accident, but they just let it happen?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they just let this rock? Just see where it goes.
Yeah. Don't bother doing anything. Let's just see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
Just see where it goes. No pun intended.
If we're all being honest here, I'm kind of amazed that they went with tanks and planes and not just giant naked women or something. Or a giant penis.
Look,
Right.
Look, they would need to actually buy the Attack on Titan game for those. And
could you imagine being a pirate and just seeing a giant dick on the horizon?
I'm just imagining the water rising, and then I don't know, freaking Gaben rises out of the water and then smites you with his eyes.
Things get progressively crazier. People introduce mechs and kaiju, and
Yeah, and then it just turns into one of those freaking Koei Tecmo Gundam crowd fighters.
the pirates are just watching from their ships. Oh, it's a good show today. Today we get Optimus Prime versus Godzilla. Yesterday we got Superman fucking suplexing an entire island. What will we see tomorrow? What a time to be alive.
tomorrow is the whole cast of Mobile Suit Gundam against all of the Power Rangers, all of them.
That's a lot of Power Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 50 different Super Sentai shows.
It's even more if you divide it between the American and Japanese versions.
Yeah.
Oh man, that. Okay. Let me pose a question. What game do you think would be most improved by giving people the ability to just bring in whatever random shit they can? What online multiplayer game?
For Honor.
Yeah, let's bring Tatanka into For Honor.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
He'd still suck.
I don't know, if you put the turret in the main lane and just farm all those minions, it'll work. It'll
Right,
be
and
fine.
then Shinobi comes up, just runs around and slaps you on the ass. You just have a movable ballista is what you'd get as Tachanka in that game.
No, what I
still better than normal Tatanka.
What I imagine with with modded For Honor is that we'd A, get better balance changes, B, get freaking Darth Maul as a playable character, and C,
Addy's just saying he wants a Star Wars fighting game, I think.
no, people have been asking for a Star Wars For Honor since For Honor has been out, but
I feel like a long time ago there were Star Wars fighting games.
There was a really bad one, Masters of Terras Kasai.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem with a Star Wars fighting game is that lightsabers can't not be fatal.
Right.
Like, swords are pretty fatal, and that's always a goofy thing with video games, how people will take 10 sword strikes to the chest and keep going.
Yeah.
Lightsabers, there is no way. Like,
Yep.
just one cut, guaranteed. Cut you in half, no resistance whatsoever.
Yeah, and then see what I'd expect from For Honor being modded is that I would get a Kuma.
Yeah.
I guess. Imagine what would happen then. Like, just imagine the Hadouken spam.
Well, the real problem is that all hand-to-hand moves in For Honor are considered unblockable. So
oh, yeah.
Akuma is just permanently unblockable.
Pick Akuma and win.
Unless, of course, you're playing against a raider on a screen with a lot of death traps.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's Addy's answer. Pink, what multiplayer game do you think would be improved with giving people complete and utter insanity freedom?
Let me think. Multiplayer. What? Trying to think of what cool things I could do with that.
See the Chunko that has an actual turret on a freaking minecart.
Right. Trying to think
You're just going to make Tachanka in a tank eventually.
Yeah.
Tank Chunka.
Tank Chonka. Trying to figure out what kind of weird thing I could do to Overwatch, but
the problem with
like
Overwatch is that people would just replace all the chicks with naked skins. Because there's already tons.
Is true.
Also Hammond.
Also, he's already naked.
Hammond.
He's already naked. What are you talking about?
No, they'll introduce mods that will put clothes on him, because that's what he needs.
No, they will introduce a mod that will give Hammond a dick that's as big as him. That's actually the most likely answer.
Daddy, I don't think you understand what people do with hamsters in the bed. If you want to go for the dirty hamster reference, you're going to have to bring in more Richard Gere, or Gere, whichever.
Alright, that freaking hamster up the ass guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody knows where that rumor originated, but wherever it went, it did kill his career.
Here's the thing. This is the only hamster that I know. Put up a timestamp.
Oh, wait, okay, give me a second. Alright, shoot. Oh, yeah, I remember that cartoon. It wasn't huge in the West, but I remember it being on for a little bit. That was back Back in the day
Don't
when
think I've ever seen that thing.
back in the
It's
day when
Hamtaro.
anime was a novelty
Yeah.
instead of a plague.
Now everybody and their mother watches anime.
And
Everybody-
May. And May.
And
Everybody
May.
watches-
Well, I mean, that is true nowadays as well, but for different reasons. Well, actually, pretty similar reasons upon thinking.
Yeah. Recently I found an anime because Crunchyroll. I found an anime that is freaking it's the Great British Bake Off, but it's anime.
I don't... That is one of the most bizarre things. Like, most of anime is bizarre. The most bizarre thing is when I hear about the ones that are, we took this mundane show and we just made it animated, and every now and then they'll have like a Dragon Ball Z power-up for doing something mundane, but otherwise it's just a mundane show in animated form. Huh?
Yeah, sometimes they have an interesting concept with a mundane thing. So like, there's a show that is a restaurant show following one restaurant that is in like an RPG world, like a JRPG world.
Okay. You say that. That gives me an idea. Why doesn't anybody make a game about restaurant management in a fantasy world?
Okay, no, restaurant management doesn't that doesn't have a game yet. There is being an RPG shopkeep. There are actually a couple of them.
I've heard
Those
of
games.
that. Yeah.
Like
Well,
there's shopkeep 1 and 2, and then there's like this anime game that I forgot the name of that was just shopkeep but worse.
Yeah, but what about like an Overcooked equivalent where instead of an oven you just had a dragon in the back room? And he just holds it in front of his face and he breathes on it and that cooks it.
But the dragon has a 1 in a 15 chance that it will kill you.
Every now and then you need to feed it players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game starts off with the game is always online and always puts in an online lobby, but every 15 minutes you need to sacrifice one of the players who gets kicked immediately.
Oh, wait. You know, I've got a good horrifying one. Trolls in most fantasy settings can regenerate. That's infinite meat. Just chop off the arm, serve it, it'll grow a new one.
By trolls, I thought you
Perfect.
meant. By trolls, I thought you meant griefers.
Yeah, those two. You can chop their arms off and eat them. And the more you get into creepy fantasy shit, the more I'm reminded of Dwarf Fortress. Have you guys heard some of
What
the
is
shit that
that?
happens in Dwarf Fortress?
I've
don't know.
heard of a couple of things, but I wasn't really well. The thing is, isn't it like a freaking text-based game that has no graphics whatsoever?
Yes, it uses MS-DOS text. I think there are texture packs though, where you can actually turn it into real models. I only played it once, and I dumped like 4 or 5 hours into it, and then I just dropped out entirely. But there's like people have done shit like where they've made it where they trap mer people in a water cave, and what they do is they figured out that the mer people's eggs are like can survive outside of water, but the mer people themselves can't. So what they would do is that they would put them in a water chamber and wait for them to reproduce, for them to lay eggs. Then they would drain the water out of the chamber, causing the mer people to suffocate, butcher the mer people for food for their dwarfs, and then fill the chamber back up with water to let the eggs hatch, and repeat the cycle over and over again. And it was so fucked up that the devs patched out the way they figured out how to do it because they were so disturbed by it.
But it was free real estate.
The one thing creepier than free real estate is the phrase free meat. Because you just imagine like Hannibal Lecter or something saying free meat.
I don't know. The people of Treeside didn't mind when I tried selling Oris. But what remained of Oris?
Did you finally pick up the cannibal trait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate many.
Yeah. Well, now you need to finish off all of them. You need to get you need to get the
that's the
Meet of
plan.
Champions perk.
That's the plan. The plan is to use the NCR and
Yeah,
then
he's not even
kill
planning to finish the game. He's just planning to eat everyone.
No, I'm playing to kill everyone.
But he does need to go far enough in the main quest to get President Kimball to come out, so...
Right.
Is it possible to get President Kimball to come out with the independent path?
I don't think so.
I've never gone independent, so I don't know.
Well, that means you need to either commit to NCR or Legion.
Yeah, I'm committed to NCR until he comes out, then I'll kill him there, and then have Boone kill everyone else.
There's something great about the idea of someone infiltrating the government so that they can get close to the president and eat him.
That's the end goal. Get close to the president, eat him. The end.
Oh, Jesus.
I love it.
Remember I mentioned that I thought Addie'd be the first of us to turn to cannibalism in the forest?
Here we are.
I mean, to be fair, in this respect, it was because of Boone messing up that forced me into cannibalism. Because we might as well be evil at this point.
Boone, the root of all our problems.
I like the idea of Boone opening fire on some people, and then Addie's just like, alright, it's because of you, Boone, now I gotta eat them. And Boone's just like, what the fuck? Boone's just watching.
That was awfully quick of a turn. I only shot one person, now you're already committed to eating the entirety of New Vegas.
Alright, Kirby, jeez. When you think about it, the Meet of Champions perk is pretty much just Kirby.
Yep.
Oh, man. On that disturbing note, let's talk about something equally disturbing. The Oscars.
Hamtaro.
The Oscars. And Hamtaro. Did Hamtaro ever win an Oscar?
I doubt it. It was a
Probably
children's
not.
TV show, Pink.
Probably not.
An anime TV show for children winning an Oscar. Reality folds in on itself.
Hey, give it time, give it time. Give it about 50 years, then the Oscars will be in dire need of something new.
And then reality
the best anime. Oh, speaking of animes, actually, I'll have a picture to post in a couple of minutes. And by a couple of minutes, I mean whenever Pink kills me.
I'm pretty sure you're going to kill me first. And for those listening at home that have no idea what we're talking about,
We're chasing each other with knives.
Pink's throwing a
we're
tantrum.
chasing each other with knives. Yes, after Addie broke into my house, he grabbed a butter knife and is now chasing me around the house.
Okay, the idea of two people trying to stab each other to death with butter knife. I'm gonna rub you to death.
I mean, it's kind of like the freaking. It's kind of like the thing of that one college humor thing. The killer with the very ineffective weapon or whatever.
Yes, and he's got a spoon.
Yeah.
All right, that's a relief. Okay, I thought
Why?
I thought there was a tiny cat turd underneath my desk. No, it's just a raisin.
That's what the cat wants you to think.
I was tempted to go for a really crude joke there, but I decided not to.
All right, you might want to put up a timestamp.
Oh, Jesus. Are we gonna get the thumbnail here?
I don't think so.
All right. Wait. Shoot.
24 on the dot.
I always put it on multiples of 5. Oh. That's a thumbnail.
An anime.
That's a good subtitle. It's not as good as the Alan Moore's listed career titles, but it's good. I've shown you guys Alan Moore's career titles, right?
I don't think so.
I've seen them. When was Punk with Global Force? Remember Global Force?
What's a global force?
Exactly.
No, I
When was
honestly
Punk on
don't know.
anime?
Back in, I want to say 2014 or 15 maybe. It was a while back. Jeff Jarrett sort of semi-started his own wrestling promotion. and they cross-branded with TNA in kind of a I don't know, merger, I want to say.
Ah, okay. Alan Moore, writer / wizard / mall Santa / Rasputin impersonator.
The thing with the Rasputin is personator is that can he get shot in the head and live, and then drown in the lake down the freaking or the river down the road?
I don't
He
think
probably already has.
That's why he writes what he does nowadays.
Yeah, Global Force, I am pretty sure it's defunct now, which wouldn't surprise me. It might be still hanging on somewhere, I don't know.
Nah,
But Jeff Jarrett did go into the Hall of Fame 2 years or so ago, so it's probably dead.
Nah, Jared tried making it into a pyramid scheme, and then it closed in, it's folded in on itself.
He tried to make it into a pyramid scheme. Instead, it turned into a sandwich scheme.
Yeah,
So,
sounds accurate.
The sandwich scheme.
But-
He's the meat, and the pieces of bread are the FBI.
But W, is a lasagna a sandwich, or is it a cake?
It's a cake.
Wait, when did Cody Rhodes leave the WWE? Because I know he was their like Global Force something champion at one point.
Global Force microtransaction gold champion.
Yeah.
You know what's more important than the question of when was CM Punk with Global Force? When did CM Punk not have any facial hair?
I know the answer to this because at one point, I don't recall when, but Punk was a part of a movie being filmed in his Chicago area, and he shaved his beard for that.
He shouldn't
Aside
have.
from that, he shouldn't have. I agree. Aside from that, I don't know why he would be clean shaven.
I mean, obviously from the
I'm
fact
not
that
a Punk expert.
from the fact that he has no beard, it's obvious that this is like WWE ECW era Punk.
Yeah, I think somebody just edited the Global Force logo in.
Probably.
Because something tells me the anime subtitle was also probably edited in.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Because the blue hair. So, anyway, I tried to transition into the Oscars, and that somehow led to CM Punk as an anime and Alan Moore's Rasputin. So, the Oscars. The nominations are up. There's some surprises. There's not as many as you'd hope, but there's some.
Oh, 91 years.
91, yeah.
You think any of those judges are dead yet? They were 91 when they started this thing.
Nope, they're still going.
No, they feed
Incredible.
they feed off of arts they feed off of freaking art projects.
They feed off the higher arts.
So,
Yeah,
3 of them died during the year where Return of the King won Best Picture. They finally withered away. So, a couple of shockers are Black Panther is up for Best Picture, which is a superhero movie going up for Best Picture at the Oscars. Would anyone have predicted that 10 or 20 years ago?
Would
I mean,
anyone have predicted a superhero movie at all 10 or 20 years ago?
I mean, not
10 years ago, we first got Iron Man, which was probably the first really good superhero movie ever. I know there are a lot of X-Men 2 fans and Blade fans out there, but...
Michael Keaton Batman.
Yes. I've honestly never seen that one, though.
I've not seen the original Supermans either, and I hear Superman 2 is really good.
I've seen the original Superman. I haven't seen the original sequel to Superman. And then I saw the terrible 2004, maybe. I don't recall.
Brandon Routh Superman?
Yeah, Brandon Routh.
The Superman movie that caused Cyclops to die.
Yes.
Oh man, that movie didn't age well at the time. At the time I would have said the only redeemable factor would be casting Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. Looking back, oh wow, that's not a redeemable feature anymore.
Fast forward to now, that movie has no redeeming qualities.
Yeah. couple of the other shockers for from the Oscars. Bohemian Rhapsody goes up for Best Picture despite a fair bit of controversy around it. Spike Lee is still alive.
Still alive.
Yeah. How long has Spike Lee been making movies?
Since he was born.
You're probably not wrong. Melissa McCarthy goes up for Best Actress. Hell has frozen over.
What did she act in?
Can You Ever Forgive Me? I believe it's a movie where she plays an author who is also forging or plagiarizing or something like that.
Ghostwriting, but the ghostwriter is an actual ghost.
Yeah. She's ghostwriting, but the ghostwriter didn't know he's ghostwriting.
Yeah.
And there was another notable one. Obviously, we're not going to be able to talk too much about this because neither of you guys are really huge movie guys.
Right.
But can we just say Sam Elliott, best supporting actor? I've not watched A Star Is Born. I probably won't get around to it for a couple of years. But I want Sam Elliott to win anyways.
What else has Sam Elliott acted in? I'm going to Google him right now to see if I recognize his face.
My Dreams.
Oh, that's good to know, I suppose.
The thing is, he's going up against Marshall Ali, who I am also a huge fan of, so... This is rocking a hard place for me. Oh, and Sam Rockwell, too, who I also really like. Damn it.
Oh, I recognize that guy.
Yeah, it's Sam Elliott. You ever seen Big Lebowski?
I've not.
You seen the first Hulk movie?
I have.
I'm sorry.
Not good.
But Sam Elliott was in it.
Yes, he was.
And was he the only part of it that didn't suck?
Probably.
Have you, for the most part, driven that movie out of your memory?
Yeah. As a kid, I do have the memory of a exploding frog burned into my mind.
That's from
That was
Shrek.
kind of scarring me. That happened in Shrek too.
Yeah.
Not the sequel, but TOO.
That was the year of exploding frogs, I guess.
Yeah. The early 2000s, wild times.
Yeah. Frogs were exploding constantly. I was there. You had to see it. Addy,
You had to see it to believe it.
Addy, were frogs exploding in Hungary too?
I don't think so.
Are there frogs in Hungary?
I mean, it took like 2 years for Shrek to arrive here, so...
Ah, the frog exploding trend waited.
Yeah.
The wave of frog explosions took its time. This is why we need to bring fucking Mike in so that I have somebody to actually talk movies with.
Right.
I mean, I have an art house film that I need to freaking watch for class, but
Let's see, Mike has probably already seen that art house film.
I don't think he had. What? Okay, let's see. Is this going to be another situation where Addy's gonna say the movie and it's got an entirely different name in Hungary?
Probably. Over here it's called something like three giant billboards or something.
Is it hang on. Is it 3 billboards outside? Oh, it was just up for the it was just up for a bunch of Oscars last year.
It's a movie about a woman getting raped and killed, and then the detectives not figuring out how she died, and it's supposed to be based on a true story or something.
Yes. Over here, it's called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, that's the movie that I need to watch.
Okay, I heard that was really good. It's got the cast is really good. We got Frances McDormand, who is great. Woody Harrelson, who is awful. Sam Rockwell, who is great. Let's see. Peter Dinklage, who is great. If you just ignore Woody Harrelson, this is a great cast.
Yeah, the thing I need to look at in this movie is the grotesque comedy and the violence of it.
Grotesque I didn't hear any. Oh, it is a dark comedy crime drama film. Boy, Frances McDormand stars in a lot of those movies. Have either of you guys watched Fargo?
No.
Have either of you guys watched Mississippi Burning?
No.
Okay, well, she was in both of those, and they were both pretty great. I wouldn't say Mississippi Burning was comedic, considering it's about the KKK, but it's pretty dark.
Just like the people the KKK were after.
That... Oh, ooh. Okay, moving on. So, Matt Smith is going to be in the Morbius movie. Who else was expecting this movie would not even get off the ground?
Me.
Who else was hoping the movie would not even get off the ground?
Double me.
Whew. So, I think we're just kind of in the mess of, like, where could they possibly go with this? Who could be Morbius's villain? Can't be Blade, because Disney owns Blade. It's probably not going to be Hannibal King, because Hannibal King's probably part of the Blade license, isn't he?
Probably.
They can go with Dracula.
But then they might run into the problem that he's also a Blade character. I don't know how Dracula works.
Well, he's public
Very
domain.
confusing.
He's public domain, so anyone can take him.
All right.
With Dracula, they just need to make it a Castlevania adaptation with Morbius in it.
Or better yet, just make a Castlevania adaptation without Morbius in it.
Yeah.
Now, Morbius was supposed to be created by science, wasn't he? Something stupid like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it probably won't be an actual vampire then. They're probably gonna take the magic doesn't exist angle on this, right?
Right.
Science vampires, which is a stupid sentence, but here we are.
I think if done properly, science vampires could be pretty cool.
I don't.
I just don't think the Morbius crew is people to do it.
It's part of the unfortunate trend. The trend that I see is very unfortunate. The trend of Thor isn't a god, he's just a very advanced alien trend.
As he literally sits in a star to forge his hammer in Avengers Infinity War.
It's assumed
Because,
that
advanced aliens.
It's assumed that he was actually in Norway, right? And he actually was the Norse god that inspired them, right?
Right.
Jesus. So if we stick with the science vampire theme, that means that effectively now, instead, Morbius could have any number of science villains. And boy, does Spider-Man have plenty of those.
Just somebody MODOK.
MODOK is probably Disney.
Shit.
Okay. The Jackal? Maybe?
Sabertooth.
I don't think they can properly use Jackal because he's more entwined with the Clone Saga and all of that nonsense.
Right, but I don't think they'll do the Clone Saga. It's got such a bad name.
Right.
But they probably want Jackal to come in anyways.
Yeah, and he is pretty sciencey, so that would make sense as a villain for a science vampire.
And isn't he, him being like cloning and all that, he would be somewhat involved with genetics, right? And they could just say, oh, Morbius is a vampire because genetics.
Right.
Movies don't have to pay attention to science.
Right.
What's the gene for sucking blood? I don't know. Fuck it, he's a vampire.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Oh, man. So... talking about this movie makes me feel dirty. God. Alright. So we all know this movie is guaranteed to be awful just because Jared Leto is the star.
Right.
Imagine... I was gonna pitch imagine if it was good, but I don't think that's even a question worth asking. I'm looking for some way to turn this topic into something we can actually talk without cringing.
Right.
So hard that our jaws
So
jump
who's
out of
Matt
our skin.
Smith?
Oh, you don't know who Matt Smith is?
He looks like he was one of those doctors.
He was the 11th Doctor?
All right.
Because was Capaldi the 12th or 13th?
I have no idea.
Could this person show me their PhD?
I don't know what the doctor's doctorate is in. Maybe it's a doctorate in who? A doctorate in whoing?
It's a doctorate in tokenomics.
That changed the series. John Cena is Doctor Who coming to BBC next year.
Comes to rap on all the little robot things.
Okay.
The sonic screwdriver has been replaced by the fisherman suplex.
He's gonna fisherman suplex the old gods.
Yes.
Super effective. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming on.
He fisherman suplexes the Daleks, and then he also fisherman suplexes the TARDIS.
How can he
and then
fisherman
once again-
suplex the Daleks? They don't have legs.
It's just this normal suplex.
I don't know.
Is he trying to grab the wheel underneath him, or?
You can't hook a wheel.
Yeah, he hooks the wheel.
Jesus. And that's about the extent of our Doctor Who knowledge. The two Americans and the Hungarian, yeah, they might not know much about the British national TV show.
I mean, they broadcasted Doctor Who on my anime channel, but by that point,
I remember Doctor Who, the greatest anime of all time. Yes.
yeah, like people joke about Korea on the House. Genuinely, the anime channel that was in Hungary was literally also the reject TV for the science fiction channel.
Oh, man. Alright. That was great. Oh, one last little topic. So, did you guys hear about Metroid Prime 4?
I did.
It getting delayed, yeah.
Not only did it get delayed, they totally...
It's canned, and they're starting over.
They shit-canned everything they'd done so far and are just gonna reset. They're just gonna make an entirely new Metroid Prime 4. Which means that...
Who curse.
I bet you that this game that got shit-canned, we will hear about a couple of years from now as Metroid Prime 3.5. And I bet you will see, like, lots of test footage of it, you know?
Yep.
But, alright, so, let's see, what have we got coming out on the channel? Well, me and Pink need to work on finishing up Scribblenauts because we're very close to the end, and we've also run out of Scribblenauts videos to upload.
We have any of the freaking other 5 million videos.
Yes.
that are in the reserve.
We are backed up on one-shots, and we've got a fair amount of Sengoku Basuras. So, yeah, probably expect a Sengoku Basura. There's probably also a Rainbow Six this week, I'd say. I don't remember which Rainbow Six. It might have been the one we recorded on Christmas Eve.
No, it definitely wasn't that. Let me check if we even have Rainbow Six.
Well, we recorded 2 Rainbow Six videos on Christmas Eve. The one that was the Christmas episode, and we recorded one more of Hereford base.
Form of suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Hereford base one, I don't think I edited that yet.
Oh.
Which is why I doubt that it's the one that's up here.
Okay, well we've got a Rainbow Six video backed up in there.
It's 2 Rainbow Six videos. I think it might have been one that I shot with Pink.
Alright, well, expect a Rainbow Six video of Pink and Addie together. I wasn't there because I was probably busy, because I'm busy all the time now. Yay!
That's always fun.
And do we think that there's any other new one-shots that would be appropriate to come out this week?
Sims.
Sims, yes.
The world needs to see Sims.
No. It needs to, but it doesn't want to.
Yeah. The world needs to see the lore.
The enhanced lore.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Imagine if this whole thing turns out right, and I actually need to move to freaking America and then cook y'all freaking like llama.
Well, it's not you. It's Pablo, the Commandant, and James.
Well, yeah, we'll dress up. I'll paint my freaking hair purple and then make it grow. and
Pink's
then
going to
be
have-
shirtless.
Pink's gotta have green skin and giant black eyes and a mohawk.
And
Hey,
then you're
Once
gonna
upon
become,
a time, I did have a mohawk. That's not that big a stretch.
Oh, Jesus.
you're gonna become Hispanic, I guess.
Pink, you must teach me.
The Hispanic ways?
Somebody get the Doctor Strange gif. And like the Ancient One, you will reject me and kick me out the front door. Alright. So, Pink, what games have you played? Fuck it. What have you done in the past week?
What have I done in the past week? Well, in a continuation of last week, I've been really hardcore into Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon again. I've gotten all the way up to the point where I had left off the previous time I played it, way back when, that I don't even remember. And, I think last week I told you this, when I started playing Fire Emblem again, I kind of tried to pick up right where I left off and got my ass handed to me because I had no idea what I was doing or what any of my unit strengths and weaknesses were. So having started the entire game over again, I got up to that point where I had left off, and it was a complete and utter cakewalk. I couldn't believe I had such a problem with it previously, because I just mopped the floor with everybody. Like, I have no idea what I was thinking that first time trying to play it through again. But here we are in the modern day, and I'm just totally obliterating everything I come into contact with. And I'm probably almost finished with the game. I don't know how many chapters there are. If I'm not almost finished, I'm at least halfway.
Well, Japanese
I'm willing to
games,
bet that much.
With Japanese games, you can never know.
Right.
I remember when I hit Chapter 7 of Yakuza 0, and I was like, oh man, I'm nearly done with the game. And then I looked up a strategy guide, and it's like, okay, so by Chapter 16, you'll... And I went, oh!
Yeah, Kiwami will be a lot easier on you because it's only like 9 chapters, I think.
Oh, thank God.
And it's like 9 health chapters of 0.
Okay. Zero, I want to finish Zero. It is so intimidating, man.
Just go through the story and then do whatever side missions come up as you do.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'll do. Does the game keep going after you finish the final mission?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll finish the final mission, then go back and finish the sub-stories.
Or even if it I don't remember if it allows you to go beyond. No. Yeah. After you finish it, it gives you the option to start a new game or to go into premium story or whatever the hell. And premium story is just the world being open and then all of the missions that you haven't done being there.
Does the game have a New Game Plus?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel
All
like
of them have so far.
I feel like New Game Plus would be a little weird in Yakuza. Because it just means that you'll melt through all the fights, but otherwise it's going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Alright, and what else have you done in the past week, Pink?
I've recently reinstalled and played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Because I believe I uninstalled that a couple months back when we were doing a lot of stuff with Game Pass, and I had forgotten that I had uninstalled it. So the other day I was like, I want to play Ultimate Alliance. So I went to my games and I'm like, where'd it go?
Oh.
I could have sworn I had it. It was just here a couple months ago. Well, yeah, I started doing that again. I chose a team that I don't know. Let me rephrase that. I chose a cast of characters that I have not usually played as. So it's like Silver Surfer, Nick Fury, Black Panther, and Luke Cage. All characters that I didn't play a lot of.
You were describing my names. Except
that
Surfer.
Figures.
I don't touch Surfer. Because I prefer not to play on baby mode.
I don't think I ever played as a surfer before because it always felt weird to me to have Silver Surfer with this. I don't know, the more grounded scenarios that you find yourself in. Because
Well, there is a part where you
Silver
go to the
Surfer in
Skrull
Murder
planet
World,
and fight
perfect. Then.
Galactus.
Yeah, that's where he pops up, and I think that's the only time I've ever willingly played him through a playthrough.
I have the
But
reverse problem where I'll take the massively overpowered characters into smaller situations and not care. But I refuse to take Daredevil in that game because he is way out of his league. I'd like to see a game where they just properly have Daredevil in a Marvel game, but it's the hardest mode. Like, that's the hard difficulty.
yeah, that's New Game Plus. You play as Daredevil and get your butt kicked all across town.
You play as Daredevil, but instead of graphics, you have echolocation.
That actually was Daredevil's secret mission. His solo mission was you couldn't see, so you had to go off of his echolocation.
That's awesome.
I want a Marvel game where you pick hardcore mode, hardcore difficulty, and what it does is it just locks off everyone on the cast except for Daredevil, Punisher, and Moon Knight.
What about Taskmaster?
He's a villain for the most part.
Yeah. I'd also say Taskmaster kind of crosses the line. Like, when you can perfectly imitate the abilities of Spider-Man, fuck you, you're super.
Right.
Because Spider-Man can dodge bullets. Shut up.
Was Kite Man in DC?
Kite Man's DC, yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Oh, well, on that level, we'll go hardcore mode. You have to play as Stilt Man.
Yeah. It just turns into freaking unbeatable.
You have to play a stilt man and successfully rob a bank.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't at that point turn into the unbeatable Banzuke?
Oh,
Like
man.
it's just the Kiniku Banzuke game that came out for PS2.
Oh, let's
Like,
go. Let's go a step further than Stilt Man. You got to play as Turk.
Turk.
Who the hell is Turk?
Turk.
From that name, I'm just imagining a Janissary who got teleported into wartime.
He's like kind of like I want to call him like a mover and a shake. I got the guy in the mob that's useless and doesn't actually do anything, but he's just there. And he's the jobber, and it's a running gag in the Netflix TV shows that every one of the Marvel heroes will at some point in the season beat the shit out of him. Or get somebody else to beat the shit out of him. By the time it got to Punisher Season 2, where Turk gets the shit beaten out of him, I started feeling really bad for Turk.
You couldn't have possibly done this much to deserve that much.
It's really bad in Punisher Season 2 because in Luke Cage Season 2, Turk starts going straight. Now, admittedly, Turk's idea of going straight is opening up a paraphernalia store, but still. It is legal. And Punisher gets him beat up by Russian mobsters. Yeah. Oh, we'll get more to Punisher Season 2 when we get there, but I thought it was really weird because the leader of the Russian mobsters is Vlad from Payday 2. It's actually just the voice actor. Like, it's weird when he starts talking because he sounds exactly like he does in Payday. Oh, man. Alright, so how did you feel about those characters? Is Nick Fury
having not played a lot of them, I actually really enjoyed Luke Cage. I didn't think I would because, there are a lot of strong guy characters on the roster, and I always rolled with like the Thing or Colossus because those are my boys.
Well, the Xbox One version, you can now roll with Hulk.
Yes, you can. And Luke Cage is both a strong guy, but he's got a very different kind of power set that really distinguished him further from the other strong guys on the roster. So I thought that was cool, and I was kind of disappointed that I didn't play as him sooner.
Is he not one of the only characters in the game that has a command grab?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say that's actually a pretty good summary of how Luke Cage should function. He should be tanky, but he should not have like the crazy AoEs that Thing might have. You know?
Right.
He should be focused more on one-on-one damage because he's probably not as strong as the Thing.
Yeah. And let's see. Nick Fury. He's a lot like a crappy version of Deadpool, in my opinion. I wasn't as impressed with him as I was with Luke Cage.
He does get that sniper rifle, though. Did you test the sniper out much?
I did. I didn't think it was very effective for what I was doing.
I got a lot of use out of it. Oh, and that cloaking, which just feels awful. I do not even remember how Silver Surfer used to play. I figure he probably had a lot of lasers given cosmic.
Yeah,
power
like,
cosmic.
He's kind of like a Thor in a way, I noticed.
I didn't play
Very
Thor either.
interesting character, and it's like maybe if Thor and Iceman merged, that's his power set. But yeah, Silver Surfer, I'd say he's pretty fun to play as.
All right, I never played as Thor either, because that would have been back. That would have been back when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 years old. Back then, I would have thought Thor was the lamest.
Right. I think we were all in that boat once upon a time.
Yeah.
I just thought Thor was the lamest Avenger.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I thought Thor was the lamest Avenger up until Ragnarok, if we're being honest. Like, I mean, he was cool in the comics, but they've very much been up until that point veering off from having him be Marvel's Superman. So
Right.
I still think Thor is the lamest, and he did smite combos.
yeah, I mean, I think also it's kind of lost on you, Eddie, because you didn't see Thor at his lamest and then turn into something better. And Thor spent a lot of time being lame in his movies.
Sky Aquaman.
Yeah.
Guy Aquaman.
Well, apparently Aquaman makes over $1 billion, so I mean, he's not. We can't be insulting Aquaman's power that much.
I guess not.
All right.
I would say Sky Kite Man, but that's kind of an oxymoron. Or whatever, not oxymoron, a freaking just a repetition, I guess.
Maybe Kite Man has a secret underwater ability that he hasn't told us about.
Didn't the leader of what's the fucking name of Darkseid's gangster followers on Earth? Intergang.
Intergang, yeah.
Didn't Intergang's leader, Bruno Mannheim, didn't he eat Kite Man?
I have no idea.
I think he did. Hang on, I'm looking it up. Okay, Kite Man. Alright. Okay. In Infinite Crisis, Joker reports that Kite Man was thrown off Wayne Tower without his kite by Deathstroke after he refused to join the new secret society of supervillains. Why would they even have wanted him? Brown, however, survives his fall and reaches some low rank in the post-crisis Gotham City's underworld in the pages of the weekly series 52. He is captured alongside Sewer King, Dawson, Lamel, the Squid, and Mirage. As with other prisoners, Kite Man is killed and eaten by Bruno Mannheim upon refusing to side with him.
And there we have it.
But DC Rebirth brought him back.
Kite Man lives.
The thing with Kite Man is that I read a comic, I think it was a Batman comic, I'm not sure.
Old Bruno got indigestion.
That that they actually gave him a sad backstory, and then it showed him getting the shit beat out of him.
I imagine that happened to him a lot.
Kite Man's in the same category as Stilt Man, where he's always sad just because you feel bad for him getting the shit beaten out of him. He's so pathetic, you feel bad for him. I remember Punisher killed one of the Stilt Men, because there was like a dozen of them. And Rhino, being invulnerable, just went up to Punisher like, "What the fuck, man?" Ah. That was one of my favorite little bits, that Rhino's one of the only people who can call Punisher out for his shit because he's invulnerable.
That's actually a thing, with, whatever. You're gonna get angry at me anyway if I say it.
Are you going to say Assassin's Creed or some anime?
No, worse. Worse, even worse than some anime. Or an anime you know.
What, My Hero Academia?
Nah. With Naruto,
Naruto, okay.
yeah. One of the teams of the Akatsuki are a team of immortals who hate each other but can't kill each other, so they're kind of comrades.
That's actually an interesting story idea. I'll give them that.
Yeah, and it actually made for some pretty funny moments.
Wasn't there about a movie about Meryl Streep and I don't remember the actress that played the other woman, but they were both immortal and both wanted to kill each other, and it was just a movie about them butchering each other. And they were fighting over a guy who might have been played by Al Pacino or Robert De Niro. Oh crap, now I gotta look this movie up. Oh, this podcast is going everywhere today.
Yeah.
Okay, look, what else have you done this past week, Pink?
I know I watched... No, I haven't watched anything. No, because I did watch something the other day, and I was thinking that was a dumb movie, but it was something I'd seen before, but hadn't seen in a long time. It was... I want to say it was something animated.
Death Becomes Her. It is about Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn killing each other repeatedly over Bruce Willis.
I can understand people killing each other over Bruce Willis. Completely reasonable.
It has developed a strong cult following, particularly among the LGBT community. I don't see...
They also want to kill each other over Bruce Willis, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Pink just said it, so I mean, I think it's just a universal thing. That's what World War III will be over, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis will die on the Atlantic Ocean between international lines, and World War III will be over who gets to keep his body.
This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. Not with a banquet with Bruce Willis.
I forgot Bruce Willis was born in West Germany.
I didn't even know, I don't think.
He was born in the Rhineland.
That's incredible.
He was born in the Reichland. Anyway.
And I was thinking about Revolver Ocelot.
I've got no clue what I watched this week. I know there was something. I know I had wanted to talk about it.
Did you watch Punisher?
But it completely escapes me. No. Because I haven't even finished season 1 of that show.
Did you start season 1 of that show?
I did. I only got through the first 4 episodes, I want to say.
It's good, but it's not Punisher. It's season 1.
Right. I don't even think he's punished anyone up to this point.
He kills a lot of Irish mobsters in Daredevil. But that's
right.
about
I think
it.
that's how Daredevil season 2 starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that season had so much potential.
Yeah. The first 4 episodes are still good. Just as soon as Elektra enters, you stop watching.
You turn it off. You turn it off and you run away.
Like, that scene in the graveyard is probably the best scene that have come out of any of these Netflix Marvel shows.
Right.
If you watch the show Best Elektra comes out of your TV.
I mean, that's a sacrifice I would be willing to make if it meant she didn't go back into it.
You just sit by the TV with a shotgun.
Come on, I'm waiting. I've got all day.
It's like that bit in Kill Bill where the instant she pokes her head through.
No, it's like the ring, but instead of you picking up the phone and it saying her saying 7 days, it just plays freaking bloody Evanescence.
No, I thought I was gonna go the reverse. No, you call Electra and you say 7 days. Either you come out of the TV or I'm going in.
I will track you down. I will save this show.
Then you become the new supervillain for the season.
Or you become
I'm
the new
just as
Electra.
charming. I can do it.
Apparently, I accidentally chose an all-pink team.
We're describing the plot of Persona 4.
Sounds like I need to start playing Persona.
Don't worry, the TV is trying to kill you. Alright. So you can't remember what you watched.
Nope.
Did it have anything to do with Alan Moore's beard?
Unfortunately, it did not. I don't think Alan Moore has actually starred in anything, to my knowledge.
There was a
I could be very wrong, though. This is Alan Moore.
You are wrong. There was a documentary about him. Was it a movie that came out recently?
No. I know it was an older animated movie, but that's as far as my recollection goes.
What do you mean animated? You mean Pixar animated or anime animated?
I don't think it was Pixar.
DreamWorks.
I think it was DreamWorks. Let me Google DreamWorks animated movies.
Was it the Robinsons?
I think that one was Disney.
I don't remember.
Meet the Robinsons was Disney.
Dreamwalker.
How to Train Your Dragon?
No.
I'd assume if it was Shrek, you'd remember that it was Shrek.
Yeah, I'd remember if it was Shrek or How to Train Your Dragon, because I like those. And I obviously know Shrek, everyone does. Animated movies.
I can't remember any DreamWorks movies aside from those and Ants. And I know there's been a shit ton of DreamWorks movies, but I can't remember them.
Cars 2?
Oh, it was the Croods.
Oh, By the way,
I should have just tried to remember who was in, because if I had remembered Ryan Reynolds, I would remember that I'm talking to Alex, who hates Ryan Reynolds. That could have been the segue into that.
I don't hate Ryan Reynolds.
No, my brain just decided to turn off.
I'll say I hate Ryan Reynolds outside of the role of Deadpool.
Right.
But I believe Nicolas Cage was also in that movie, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Like, I think after my sisters saw Into the Spider-Verse, they started watching a lot of Nick Cage movies for reasons I cannot comprehend. So that's probably why that was on the other day.
There's probably only 3 you need to watch. Otherwise, you're dipping into the dark age of Cage. It began with the bees, and where did it end? I guess it's kind of ending with Mandy, isn't it? Because isn't he supposed to be getting his career back in order now?
Probably.
What big movies did he have? Like Rage in the Cage. What other freaking Johnny Cage movies do I know?
Yeah, they watched Con Man the other day.
Con Air. There's Con Air. There's
brand.
There's Leaving Las Vegas. Lords of War. What other big ones did he have? National Treasure. Everybody loves those movies. I don't really get it.
I remember 2 years back, I want to say, there was that one meme where it said, if you start the movie at this time exactly, at midnight, the start of the new year, Nick Cage will say he's going to steal the Declaration of Independence. I thought that was humorous, but outside of that...
That meme got used a lot.
I don't quite understand it, but I'm an old man, so not my forte.
The modern world where you grow old at 20. It's going to happen to you
once
soon,
I turn into an adult, I use the adult card every chance I get, because
even
when I was a kid, I didn't understand the other kids.
I'm going to be 19 in March.
Enjoy your last year. Enjoy it while you got it. And there was one more Nicolas Cage. Face Off. Face Off. Now that one was really bad, but it was great in a bad way. I can say it had more stuff that was unironically good than Wicker Man did, but it also had some great awful stuff like Wicker Man did.
It don't have to be though.
My favorite Nicolas Cage gif, actually. I'm looking for it right now. And I think you guys will enjoy it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I need a gif, though. Give me a gif. I want a gif, not a picture. You give me a fucking gif. I found it. Nope, that's not it.
I'm scrolling through the list of animated movies they made, and then Mouse Hunt is, like, randomly placed in here for reasons I don't know.
Alright, so, for this gif's context, what he has done is he has disguised himself as a priest, snuck into a choir, and is now firmly grasping onto the person in front of him in the choir's ass. And that gif will be in the description.
Even with context, I'm not sure I understand.
Why do not much keep sucking?
It's interesting to see live as well. When you actually see it mid-movie. When you see a gif of Nick Cage, you expect it to get weird sooner rather than later. The movie, it's a little more surprising.
It's interesting to see live as well when Nick Cage goes on the theater thing and then plays parts of himself.
You know what? On the forum, I needed to get rid of that stupid picture of Walden Creek or Walden Pond on my SIG, so I'm gonna replace it with that. All right.
Replace it with this. Actually, yes. Replace it with this. Put up a timestamp.
Okay, hang on. I've got a... Shoot. Oh, God. I will not do that, sir. Oh, Jesus. How do you react to that? It's unfortunate that the spot thumbnail has already been taken by CM Punk and
I guess this is my new job now. I search the internet for thumbnails.
And he just puts in Google, give me the stupidest picture you can find.
No, I have shitpost bot for that. I mean, I got the CM Punk anime picture of shitpost bot as well.
Addy's got his shitpost sources.
Yeah.
He slips him a $5 and then he's like, give me your best. I want the quality stuff. None of that garbage crap. Give me the quality garbage.
None of the garbage I eat. It's all the trash, man.
After he shows us the thumbnails, he eats them.
Yeah.
He's going to eat Doug Trio.
Nick Trio.
Nick Trio. Is this like part of some Nicolas Cage religion? Is this the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost?
I guess. No, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Face.
Oh, Jesus.
Every battle is replaced with the words "face off."
I want to take his face
off.
Alright. What else did you do besides watching The Croods, Pink?
I don't know that I did anything else.
Alright.
Fire Emblem Ultimate Alliance. The final, I want to say it's the final. I'm pretty sure it's the final. The final DLC pack for 2K19 came out. And it's worth noting because it contains Mike and Maria Kanellis. who have the greatest theme songs in all of WWE.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling the truth. You can't go wrong with Zebra Head, and Mike's song is like this totally ridiculous, cheesy 80s love ballad, and it's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
And then Marius is everything's falling apart.
Not quite. Almost as good, but not quite.
Literally, the arena falls apart. The opponent in the ring gets hit by a fallen rafter.
And then after the match, we get the backstage. Think of Maria slipping Sting on Fiverr.
Sting doesn't even say anything. He just stares.
I think he thinks of the Sting mask.
All right. So what I always like. I haven't played 18 or 19 yet. But what I always want to hear with these is new move animations.
Yes.
Do we got some good ones?
We had a lot of good ones this year. A lot of decent new suplexes if you're boring. A lot of new indie moves if you're crazy. Ricochet is in the game this year.
What?
Which is wild.
Ricochet is in the WWE game.
Freaking Ricochet.
When did that happen?
I want to say
it happened low-key.
No, Loki was the other one.
Was it Ricochet Loki?
Did Ricochet appear? I want to
thought
say
Loki
it was
Caval.
Yeah, Loki is Caval.
I'm missing up my universe.
Ricochet is Prince Puma.
I have heard of Prince Puma. Yes.
Let me Google that up real quick. When did Ricochet join the WWE?
So I assume Ricochet then, like, with him, they had to bring in a ton of, like, springboard moves and shit.
Yes.
That's good, because the springboard variety was not great.
Yep.
It was moonsault, and
Moonsault
I think it was
DDT.
one senton.
Yes.
Yeah, and then a senton.
Yep.
The springboard moves this year, there are so many good ones. It is whatever the last game you played was, multiply all those moves by like 5.
Okay, the last one I played was 17, so...
Yeah, you can still multiply it by 5. It's pretty phenomenal.
The last one I played was 16, so let me multiply 1 by 5.
Yeah, so you've still got 5 moves.
Oh, man. I think it's now a better strategy to skip every other year now.
So far, it's been working out for you to skip all the years.
That's probably true. I already have enough games that suck up a lot of time.
I just don't have the burnable money to give a shit about 2K or WWE, and I've also kind of started boycotting 2K.
Right, but
as a publisher.
But the nice thing about being a PC gamer is, even though it costs an absurd amount of money for a computer, at least Steam sells the games for $10.
Oh, January of 2018. That's apparently when Ricochet signed.
Huh. I don't remember hearing about that.
The users kind of ricocheted off of you.
Oh, shut up. Alright, so... what was I going to say? Alright, Addy. What have you done in the past week?
Right, so I played Metro. 2033, I think is the full name.
I thought it was Metro 2077.
2033?
Was it 2077? It might have been. I don't freaking remember.
Isn't 2077 the Cyberpunk?
Oh, it's Metro 2033, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was right.
I'm pretty sure 2077 is Cyberpunk.
So how did you enjoy your vacation in Russia?
It was fine. It was fine until the librarians came into picture.
Ah, so you enjoyed mini vodkas and mini angry bears.
But those were supposed to be bears? I thought they were rats.
Oh, I don't know what the librarians are. I was trying to go for a joke about Russia having vodka and bears. I like to joke about Russia being nothing but vodka and bears because it probably pisses them off.
The librarians are these I think they were supposed to be people who mutated because of the freaking radiation, and now they're hairless gorillas, more or less just hairless gorillas.
I thought they were supposed to be like lizard people.
So Uncle Sergey after 5 bottles of vodka in one night.
And yeah, um, the gunplay is alright. The story seemed to be alright as well, as far as I've played. I had to delete it because my Game Pass runs out tomorrow, so I won't have time to actually play through it. But
Oh no.
but you know,
Metro
yeah.
2033 strikes me as the type of game. I played it. I did rent it at one point, and I dropped out like a half hour in because after a shit ton of cutscenes and dialogue and all that, I got to the gameplay, couldn't see shit.
Yeah. It has an inventory system where you can have toggle flashlights on and shit like that.
Oh, you have to go into the inventory to toggle flashlights?
Well, you have to press left bumper and then like Y, and that's how you toggle flashlights.
Oh, okay. That's a little more convenient. I was imagining going through menus.
No. You also have to whenever you're on top or in irradiated areas, you also have to look at your like air filters, and you need to replace them every 5 minutes.
Could you like imagine if you had to turn your Pip-Boy light on by going into the Pip-Boy?
I could actually. That would actually make more sense.
It wouldn't be fun though.
No. Well, I never used the Pip-Boy light.
Granted, yeah, it doesn't do much.
The
It just gives away your location a lot faster.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The brightness in Fallout was so high that most of the time it was just a "come kill me" sensor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that. I amassed enough money to buy the Vortiger for honor.
Nice. Is he any good?
I mean, he's not out yet, Pink, and it's gonna be another week for me to get him because.
Okay, I wasn't even sure if he was out or not, because when you said you had enough money to unlock the Vortiger, I was like, wait, he's already out? I thought we were just talking about the speculations a while ago.
No, he's gonna get released on the 31st for people who bought the season pass for this year, and then a week later for everybody else.
Yeah, because that's how the Ubisoft season passes work.
Yeah, they did spoil the customization before showcasing it later on, and yeah, so there's a Skeletor outfit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm gonna be rolling with. And yeah. He seems to be less bash heavy. Both of us with Pink tried doing freaking grab supers and missed.
Context.
Yeah.
Grab supers with the knives.
Yeah.
What was that fucking game? Wolf. Okay, now I gotta find a Wolfenstein gift. Damn it.
You're gonna find what?
Okay, so here's what I imagine with you guys trying to grab each other with knives. So this gift will also be in the description.
It's that, but we're not hitting each other. We're like just above each
We're
other's
whipping
shoulders.
past each other.
Yeah.
With knives.
Uh.
Oh, that's one of my favorite gifts for just how inane it is. Two very, very angry people trying to kill each other.
So wait,
But
hold
yes.
up. The Vortiger comes out January 31st?
Yeah, if it's a 30, yeah, it is. It does.
And
yeah.
then a week later for the non-season pass owners, but they still haven't unveiled any information for Rainbow Six in their season pass. Kind of crazy.
I guess. I mean, they've unveiled that every 3 months. I want to say 3 or 4 months. Yeah, 3. I think it's 3 months because there's 4 seasons. Whatever.
Right.
Who gives a shit? Whatever. Every time that they decide that they want to release a new character, they will release a new character. There's gonna be 4 new characters this year. Second one will be a samurai who wields a freaking axe, battle axe, whatever.
Right.
Also, Shigoki River comes with the Vortiger on 31st, so that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, cool. So we
Um,
should try that out.
yeah, Demon's Embrace is no longer a thing that you can do from natural, by the way.
What was Demon's Brace?
The
Fan
hug.
grab.
Ah,
Yeah, so the thing they did is that they made it so you can feint the unblockable, but now you need to do a heavy attack to go into the Demon's Embrace, and then you also can't headbutt people off of light attacks. With Shigoki. They also tuned
Right.
Warlord and PK's damage, from what I remember.
Okay. I've been
Wait, who's
trying to pay
PK?
attention to news headlines here, but did I just hear you say that they're trying to buff Shugoki, so they got rid of his ability to combo into unblockables?
Combo into what?
They're trying to buff
Unblockables.
Shugoki, so they got rid of his ability to combo into unblockables and his command grab.
You keep cutting out, but
Oh,
what they did is that they made it so you can't basically you can't take people's stamina just by light spamming with Shugoki. They made it so his attacks are faster, and then they made it so the only way you can go into Demon's Embrace is with a combo.
okay. Did they improve? Did they make it faster for him to do the charged unblockable swing?
I believe they did.
Okay, thank God, because that was useless. One of the most dodgeable, parryable moves in the game.
Yeah.
Aramusha says hi.
Yeah. I mean, with
But yeah.
Aramusha, you're going to see more parries no matter what, because parries are really the only way to get out of his chains.
Not really. The big secret about fighting Aramusha is that you need to back dodge
Are you playing against people or against AI?
people.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what we got on that front. Was there anything else you played, Addy?
Well, what else? Because I did play something else, but I freaking forgot. Oh right, I played Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, Shadow of Mordor. Is that your first time playing Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
It's
Is
I
that
wasn't
the
impressed.
Lord of the Rings thing?
yes,
Yeah.
with the Nemesis system.
Ah,
That-
right.
That game is fucking incredible, isn't it?
I wasn't impressed.
Really? Really?
Yeah, the controls put me off, to be honest.
It's just Assassin's Creed, though.
Not the controls.
It's a little bit of Batman, but it's mostly Assassin's Creed. I did not notice a difference between it and Brotherhood.
I did plenty.
Did you even get to the point of the Nemesis system?
I don't think so, because I tried out the freaking battle system and I just didn't.
Was this
I
Game
didn't like it.
Pass?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, it being Game Pass, you're going to dump a game a lot easier.
But yeah, like the battle mechanic I just didn't like, and seeing as how this is an Assassin's Creed like,
What did you not
battling
like?
is
What did you not like about it?
the feel.
The feel. What do you mean the feel?
To me, it felt slow and what's the word I'm looking for? But not clunky, but like it felt a bit too, like, I don't know. It felt like either it was way too weighty or like my inputs were delayed or something. I don't know.
It's kind of a way between Mad Max and Batman, I would say. You've played Mad Max, right?
Yeah, I also played Batman, but it was like, I don't know, 4 years from now, or freaking 4 years ago.
So one thing I noticed, Batman is of course really fast himself, and he also has really good recovery on all of his moves, so he can cancel most of his attacks with a counter. So with Batman, there's always something going on, because there's not much risk in going on the offensive. In Mad Max, it was the opposite, where there was a ton of recovery on all of Max's moves, so if you went on the offensive, if you went for an attack, then that meant you wouldn't be able to counter for a little bit. And Mordor seemed like he was trying to go for in between, where there was more, where it wasn't necessarily forcing you into positions of being defensive sometimes, but at the same time, it wasn't really, you couldn't go on offense for free. So that may have been a little weird how I was trying to find an in-between point for those two.
Yeah, might have been my issue, but Yeah, basically the fighting mechanic is the thing that turned me off of the game. Because like I played the demo thing that they released on PS4 for the second game. I actually got to witness the Nemesis system there, so there's that. But I didn't like the combat in that game either.
I mean, part of the whole
It
thing
was
with Shadow of Mordor is that most of the good moves your character has are locked very early on. Like, you know how Batman and Mad Max both had where you'd build up the combo and do a finisher? But in both
Yeah.
games, it didn't really feel like it was that important. And in both of those games, you more so wanted to build up for other moves. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, you want to build up for your combo finishers. So, yeah, things are a little different in Mordor than they are from Mad Max or Batman. I personally really enjoyed it, but it is definitely not as precise as the way Batman or Mad Max handled it. It didn't have the exact vision they were looking for, and you could tell the developers weren't very. The developers for Shadow of Mordor were very ambitious and very lacking in an actual technical expertise. So it's one of those games where if you can overlook its flaws, it will be incredible and everything you're looking for. If you can't overlook its flaws, you're going to think it's an overrated piece of crap.
I mean, I don't think it's an overrated piece of crap. I think Lord of the Rings is mostly an overrated piece of crap. So
Oh, shut the fuck up.
they lost me on that. I watched through the first 3 movies with my friend who loves Lord of the Rings. I also played through the games. I like the games better. I just don't.
How long ago was this? Was this 10 years ago?
Not 10 years ago, but a good bit of time ago. Yeah.
For you to have played the games.
I played the PS2. I played the PS2 games.
I remember the games. They weren't that good.
No, they weren't.
Yeah. What else did you do this past week, Addy?
Well, aside from recording stuff with you guys, I don't think I did anything. So, do you want to go into that, or should we just skip?
I think people will see that when we see that. We can talk about Ark for a little bit. That sucks.
We can talk about how bad that was.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, we could talk about Mortal Kombat, but the thing is, Pink didn't really get to play Mortal Kombat. He just kind of got to sit there and be beaten on. I was going in feeling real bad for Pink in Mortal Kombat because it's like, okay, I know Pink has utterly no practice with this game whatsoever.
I mean, in fairness, I very rarely have practice in any of the games that we play.
Right,
Yeah, that's why I'm freaking beating the shit out of Pink off screen so we can learn what to do against me. He's getting
Right.
better. Like,
Not by much. Not by much. I was probably doing much better when we first started, and I had no idea what I was doing, and you probably didn't have much of an idea of what you were doing either. But as we both started to play the Dragon Ball fighters, it's like you can see how fast me and Addy learn games by how fast Addy will progress in a fighter and how I won't.
the thing is, Pink. Not only did I have more time with the game, just right now, I was also.
Oh,
in the
that's
beta.
right. You were in the beta, yeah.
So
I forgot.
I had even more time.
I forgot I was playing against a master. My bad. Yeah, I don't think I've had, outside of Injustice, I don't think I've ever had any practice time with any of the fighting games we played.
Soul
Yeah,
Calibur.
we know how Injustice turned out.
Oh yeah, Soul Calibur.
There was one other fighting game we played that you'd put a considerable amount of time in. And I don't remember which one it was.
Street Fighter 4, I guess.
I had never played a Street Fighter up until I played with you guys.
Well, yeah, but then you beat my ass with Cameo off screen.
You also, because of the failed recordings, you had like 2 or 3 hours worth of experience from that too.
Oh, that's right. Those recordings that never got brought to light. That's so sad.
None of them will be worse than oh shit, there was one really good recording we had that died, and I forget which one it was.
K3.
Gate 3, yeah, that was a good one.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Gate 3.
Skate 3, yes, that one was the bad one. That one was the real. The Bison ever since then has just been nonsensical. Why?
Yeah. Like, if only EA wouldn't have shit servers, we could go and record it again. But EA has shit servers, so we can't
Right.
go back and record it again.
Because we've tried, we just can't get it to work anymore.
The one time we got it to work, the recording software didn't work.
Right. Fate demands that we not show that game.
Yeah. Only Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. the superior skater game.
Alright. And we also played Ark, which was... Woo! Woo!
Ark was devastating.
The thing is, W. You say that it was really freaking shit. You were only here for half of the session.
Oh, I know! I know!
Imagine that for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I know. You built the house.
I was then inside by the time Pink wanted to quit. And then you came.
So Conan at least had some fun.
And even with the fun that eventually ran out, we could still turn on the admin controls and get a little bit more out of it. Ark had no such system. We were screwed from the get-go.
It did, but it didn't work on... Did we have a private server or a public server?
Probably because Pink couldn't join a private one.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, you can have your private server, but you can't invite anyone to it.
Well, that's no different from single player then.
Exactly. So it didn't make any sense.
Jesus. I mean,
So yeah, remember when
we almost got to fun. We knocked out a turtle, and we could have tamed it, but the taming didn't work.
Right.
The fucking thing wouldn't get hungry.
I'm not sure if I messed some things up when I set the server up or something, probably, but...
No turtles will ever get hungry under Addie's eyes. Which is going to have interesting effects in the forest.
The turtles won't get hungry. They won't take time to get hungry. They will live and die.
I don't know if you want to mess with these turtles, though, Addie. They've done some pretty miraculous things in the forest.
Well, we need to kill at least 3 if we want to form our skateboarding posse.
We'll redo Skate 4 in the forest. Skate Forest.
Hit the cannibal for extra points. The poor cannibal's just out minding his business, picking flowers or something. He's like, hey, what's that? Oh!
No, a checklist comes up and it's like, hit an ollie over the cannibal. We keep talking about recording the forest, but we still don't have everything set up to actually record the forest.
This is true. And that's on my end. I apologize greatly.
We're chasing the forest. We're on a beach, and we're chasing the forest into the horizon. And it's in slow motion as we're reaching out our arms towards the forest.
But it's just a band of shooty-woodoos running away from us.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. So, I believe that just leaves me for what we've done this past week, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I finished Symphony of the Night. I know what I said I was going to finish Rondo of Blood, but I finished Symphony of the Night. Look, I'm an idiot. Accept it. So, Symphony of the Night, really good. Is it one of the top 10 or top 20 greatest games of all time? No. Is it one of the top 50? Probably, yeah.
Nice.
The sprite work is probably the best sprite work that has ever been done on a 2D game, outside of the modern stuff like Skullgirls. The variety of enemies is absolutely insane. Now, it's kind of cheating because it's got several games that it's building off of, but there are like over 100 different kinds of enemies in Symphony of the Night. There are several kinds of enemies that you will only encounter on one screen, and there's just one of them. And when we play, if we ever get around back to playing Rondo of Blood with Addie, I will point out those enemies. Because several of the I think all the Rondo of Blood enemies actually return for Symphony.
And then you make the birds eat those words.
Oh yeah, the birds only show up on one screen in Symphony of the Night, but it's the worst screen that they could possibly show up on. When
It's
you
the screen when you it's the screen when you shove Alucard's just sword up the freaking Shield Knight's ass.
Oh no, the Axe Knights are everywhere, and the Axe Knights very quickly go from being the most difficult enemy for Richter to fight to the easiest enemy for Alucard to fight. Because here's the thing, Alucard isn't a Belmont, so he doesn't get the whip. Now that seems like that would be a bad thing, because the whip was the way Richter would destroy the axes. Nah, Alucard gets a shield. So he can just put the shield in front of him, charge up to the knight, and beat the shit out of the knight with his bare hands.
Like a real man.
Yeah. The game is very different, because where the other games, you have a set health meter, that health meter drops, you die, whatever. Alucard plays as an RPG. You can get him all the way up to like level 60. His health meter gets bigger and bigger. You start out with like 80 health and shoot up to 400. He has defense stats, attack stats, all that. You'll eventually get to the point, like, you'll actually get to the point very quickly where Axe Knights and the like, who were intimidating as hell in Rondo, only deal 1 damage to Alucard. So where Richter you'd have to be scared shitless of Axe Knights, Alucard can get hit by them 450 times and not care. So Symphony of the Night is a lot easier than Rondo. I mean, holy shit. Like, Addy, you love your power trip games, right?
Yeah.
You need to play Symphony. Because by the end of the game, oh my god. You are...
Is it the Symphony of Destruction?
Oh yeah, oh boy, is it. Legitimately, one of the last abilities you'll pick up in the game is the ability to turn into Poison Mist. And when you can turn into Poison Mist, and it will drain your magic meter, but not very fast at all. Alucard becomes an invincible, moving poison cloud that kills everything.
Do I get the freaking ability to blind people with my sparkling skin?
Almost. There might be a move for that. At first, I didn't think the game was that easy. Turns out the game hides some stuff from you that makes the game really easy. And I'll continue to hide it for LP funsies if we ever get around to doing Symphony, because I'm going to put one of you two through Symphony now.
Yeah.
But the sprite work is incredible. The music is incredible. And the story, people act like Symphony's story is some incredible grand work of art. There's like 5 cutscenes in that entire game. Otherwise, it is straight Metroidvania. Now, the 5 cutscenes are actually pretty mediocre. Now, mind
I
you,
don't believe it.
the original translation was great in terms of how cheesy it was, how goofy it was. And it had such iconic lines as the famous, what is a man? A sniveling little pile of secrets? And then Dracula throws the glass, right? Everybody knows that bit, yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
They made a new translation for this. They took that line out.
What's the new line?
It's something really forgettable about, oh, I hate humanity. Because the voice actors were hamming it up big time, and all the voice lines were very trying to be Shakespearean and all that. And even though it was kind of goofy, it was also lovable in its own way. And the decision to try and make it more mundane and more like modern English really takes away a lot of the game's charm.
Just put in the freaking gag from Soul Eater to have Alucard say that is the man I was, or Dracula. That's actually a gag. One of the characters in the series dies, and then he comes back as a zombie. And then every time he says something, he ends his monologue with, "That is the kind of man I was."
Okay. All right, Addy, thanks for that contribution, I guess. But so that kind of makes the game suffer as a whole. The other thing that really makes it suffer, one of the things that was known about the first Symphony of the Night is that Alucard had a really, 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 really deep voice. Like, it was over-the-top James Earl Jones levels of deep voice. So in the new translation, guess who they got for the voice actor? Yuri Lowenthal. Oh yeah. Now, how many times have you guys run into Yuri Lowenthal in Fallout in New Vegas? In New Vegas, how many times have you guys run into Yuri Lowenthal and listened to him speak, and you think Yuri Lowenthal was the wrong voice actor for this character?
Who the hell is Yuri Lowenthal?
Okay, he's that really high-pitched voice actor. Okay, do you remember the guy from New Vegas that runs out of the town and he's I won the lottery and all that?
Ah, yeah, the guy that I immediately shot.
That's Yuri Lowenthal.
I see.
And he also did Ben 10, and he was Sasuke. He was Sasuke. That's where you'll know him. He was Sasuke in the English dub.
No, I only listen to the Japanese dub.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Look, even I have my standards.
Do you?
So far, the only time I the only
Naruto's
time
a little girl in the Japanese version.
I mean, yeah. So is most male protagonists for some reason, but
Damn it. You know, I've been trying to tone down my language, and Addy makes it so difficult. I'm gonna die of an early heart attack from Addy giving me high blood pressure. I don't think that's how it works, but fuck it.
But yeah, I think the one time I actually listened to the English dub is because there's this character from Solitude once again that had a really funny voice in Hungarian, in the Hungarian dub. And I was like, I'll see what it was like in the English dub, and then they took out all of the character from the voice. So then I went and listened to the Japanese dub, and that still has less of a character than the Hungarian dub, but it's closer to it. So there's that.
Could you imagine if they made it like, you know how Capcom's fighting games, they let you pick which voice they use? Imagine if every series let you do that.
I would probably use it.
Right, because there are some cases where, like, in Street Fighter, there's some voice actors I like, there's some voice actors I hate. So, I'm very much glad to replace some of the, like, I wish I could replace Adon. The problem is that Adon's English and Japanese voice actors are equally annoying.
Yeah, Adon is just annoying, and I say that as somebody who likes Adon.
Jaguar! Makoto's voice actors are also pretty bad on both languages.
The thing is with me is that, like, I don't think that Akuma's English voice actor is bad. He's just not Besatsu.
Yeah, I get you. Now, I liked Akuma's Akuma's Japanese voice actor is the best. Akuma's English voice actor prior to 5 was good. The problem is that in 5 he's now voiced by Raiden.
Oh.
Yeah, and it does not work at all. It sounds wrong on all levels. Raiden's voice actor is one of those poor voice actors that I will never not hear his voice and not think Raiden. It's Raiden. And it's really bad because he voices Joker in Injustice.
Yeah.
Pink, haven't you always heard Joker in Injustice and thought, yeah?
I remember not liking the voice, but any voice outside of Mark Hamill just isn't Joker.
Who was the guy that voiced Joker in the newer one, the Batman? Kevin Michael Richardson. Kevin Michael Richardson did an alright job.
Which series is that?
The Batman. Boy, they don't make that shit easy, do they?
Nope.
The Batman. What? Jeez.
Make a Watchman like Batman series, call it Batman.
Batman?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a comic now.
Probably. They've got enough.
Man, speaking of where Batman...
Don't just think of the Batman. Think of the Batwomen and Batchildren as well.
The thing is, there are Batwomen and Batchildren.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's the Bat family.
Literally.
Man, remember Batman Inc.? When there was a literal army of Batmen?
Yep.
Grant Morrison,
I actually have a funny comic story with Batman comics because there's this small, like, convenience store next. Well, it's not really next to my school, but whatever. And my niece really likes comics, or well, superheroes, because of course she does. So, so this convenience store sells a couple of Batman comics as well. So I was like, I want to check which Batman comics they are, and it's and I look at it, and it's that of the family.
Not for kids.
Yeah.
Very not for kids. There's a part in Death of the Family where Alfred shoots Joker with a shotgun and Joker's head explodes. Like full on explodes into a blood mist.
So the person who runs the convenience store asks why I'm looking at them, and then I told them that I was going to buy it for my niece, but then it has Joker with his face getting torn off, and then he's reattaching it for himself. And the clerk looked at me like I was freaking just crazy.
I'd prefer not to give my niece nightmares, thank you very much.
No, she didn't think that I was crazy for not buying it. She was thinking that it was freaking messed up, I think.
It was.
Yeah.
That's the new 52 altogether, if we're being honest. Good thing we went from face mask Joker to having 3 Jokers. Oh, that's the
why not?
As long as DC's sticking to their have their cake and eat it too strategy, might as well go fully with it.
I just hope that one of the Jokers is Dr. Freeze with a freaking cardboard cutout Joker face strapped to his face.
and he's doing a really bad impression of it too. Look, Batman, it is me, the Joker. Ha ha ha. But it's still got Mr. Freeze's obvious robot tone.
Yeah, no, it's actually just Mr. Freeze. Like he tried applying some paint to himself.
And it's not even one of the more subtle Mr. Freeze suits. It's one of the Mr. Freeze suits that looks like a big mecha. And he's just got it taped to the front of the glass.
Yeah. Or like it's a cardboard bag with Joker's face crayoned on.
It doesn't fit over the glass dome. It's just sitting on top of it.
Yeah. And Batman still looks like it's the Joker.
Joker, your new methods seem particularly cold.
I was going to reply in Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, but then I can't do one.
Chill out, Batman. Get to the chopper. So, speaking of shitty superhero news, I read Irredeemable. Pink, do you know what Irredeemable is?
I've got no clue.
Well, after Mark Waid had been writing at Marvel and DC for the past 10 years, in like 2007, he decided he was done with his reputation as the big Silver Age fanboy, and he wanted to break it.
Good luck.
Yeah, he didn't. So how he tried to do that was by writing the edgiest, grittiest, evil Superman story of all time in his own separate comics continuity so that he wouldn't have to go back on it. So, as is typical with alternate universe, with non-Marvel DC superhero universes, most every superhero depicted is a very clear knockoff of a similar superhero from Marvel or DC. And Irredeemable rolls with the idea that this universe is Superman, who in this case is the Plutonian. Goes crazy and just out of nowhere wipes out the entirety of the equivalent of Metropolis, killing millions. Like, legitimately, he leaves a smoldering crater. And the start of the story is the Justice League equivalent, the Paradigm, trying to figure out why the hell Superman just went crazy and slaughtered everybody. Meanwhile, the UN assembles, and they all try to play for the Plutonians' goodwill, except for the US ambassador, who has balls, so Plutonian kills him. And Singapore speaks up, so Plutonian's like, alright, cool, that's really nice of you to offer me citizenship and to be the new king of Singapore. So Plutonian then leaves and promptly razes the entirety of Singapore. The entire fucking country. So it feels like a person trying to out Watchmen, where it slowly turns out that while the Paradigm haven't fully gone crazy, they're also very bad people. And it very quickly devolves into the kind of thing Mark Waid was trying to fight against with Kingdom Come, you know?
Right.
That whole thing of, man, what if superheroes were shitty people? And what I think every time I read that storyline is, have you ever read a Marvel comic? Because most of the time their idea of shitty person is serial killer, spree shooter equivalent with powers. And that is pretty much the comic, Plutonian butchering a lot of people until finally somebody shuts him down. And it was one of those cases where they clearly had planned it to be like a little mini-series, but then it kept going. And the problem
kept going.
The problem
it just wouldn't stop.
The problem with that was their only way they could figure out to keep it going was making Deus Machinas. And then they had to make up a new Deus Machina to get them out of the previous one. And make a new Deus Machina to get themselves out of the previous one. And you've read enough comics to know when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Where they have to introduce new plot elements to dig themselves out of the previous plot element. Like, oh, hey, we introduced the one thing that's stronger than Plutonian. Oh, no, he's crazy, so we need another thing that's stronger than that guy. Oh, but wait, Plutonian's even stronger than we thought. He just hadn't tapped into his true potential.
He all loved the one could use shotgun.
Yeah.
Might as well have.
We're describing anime writing to a certain degree here.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we are describing what Dragon Ball has been doing since the beginning, more or less.
And just like Dragon Ball, there's an entire side cast that does not matter. So, there's so many moments of edge, just sheer edge in this. There's a moment where it turns out that the Plutonian has secretly had a massive fetish for one of the other members of the Paradigm. So he has kidnapped a supervillain chick and forced her to become his sex slave. Yeah. Now that sounds like an Alan Moore storyline, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like something
Watchmening the Watchmen.
Yeah. How about that? And it has, like, very, 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 very occasional good moments. The art is solid, though it is weird because I don't know for sure, I'm probably wrong, but I swear to God that they must have gotten the Walking Dead artist on the last couple issues. Because all of a sudden the Plutonian looks exactly like fucking Negan, except blonde. And the cheapest, shittiest thing about it is Mark Waid eventually getting sick of it and trying to walk it back and make it, good-hearted and Silver Age like he always does. So you know what he did? Finally, somebody kills the Plutonian and decides that there's some essence of Plutonian that is good. So they divide his soul up and send it out to alternate universes. One goes to our world, to the 1930s, or to the 1920s, where it then inspires a young Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel to create Superman.
Perfect.
And that is the biggest, at first I was like, shut up, and then I was like, you know what? Mark Waid, I love Kingdom Come. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. This was awful. That was the most hackneyed attempt to thematically. It's one thing to try and retcon your own plot in direct terms. It's another thing to go for a thematic retcon. No, this wasn't a whole thing trying to talk about if Superman was evil. This is a whole thing talking about how Superman is a good Plutonian. Not the other way around. Shut up. Oh, so that was bad. I've started watching Punisher Season 2 because it came out. Really good. Still not a lot of punishing. There's some punishing at the beginning. But the thing is, I think they're really scared of the political implications of too much punishing.
Right.
So they're still sticking with the government conspiracy plot. The first one, it was a whole government conspiracy. It's been several years since Punisher Season 1 premiered. I'll go ahead and spoil it. So the whole thing was that it turned out the government not only was Frank Castle part of a, black bag unit that was used to kill several people that the government didn't actually have evidence towards, they just thought that they were associated with Middle Eastern terrorists in Afghanistan. So part of the conspiracy was they killed Frank's family and tried to kill him to cover up the fact that he was part of a black bag operation. But it also turned out that the government was using, or that some specific government agencies, including Billy Russo's private military company, were using the corpses of veterans in Afghanistan. They were filling them up with heroin to then bring it over to the U.S. and then sell it for federal funding. And of course, the whole thing is Punisher finds out about all this, finds out that Billy was responsible for his family's deaths, and he kills Alex Rollins, and which was a huge disappointment because Alex Rollins is a very different character in the TV show than he was from the comics. He was a much more interesting character in the comics. And scars up Billy Russo by jamming his face into a mirror. A broken mirror, of course. He didn't jam his face into a fully functioning mirror.
Take a good look at yourself.
It's just making the squeaking noises as he rubs him up and down it.
It's just a comical moment now.
Look what you made me do. The poor cleaning lady will have to work on this all evening.
The
You
cleaning
spray
lady.
this down with Windex now.
The cleaning lady's gonna kill you.
Minute.
He's gonna stuff a mop down your throat. So, Billy Russo comes back in season 2, and now he's Jigsaw, because that's the arc. And he's all pissed because he used to be a pretty boy, and now he's supposed to be hideous. I've shown you guys what Jigsaw looks like in this series.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not exactly hideous. He more just looks like a military veteran. Like, the kinds of scars that an actual military veteran would have on one cheek, he just happens to have on both cheeks. And that's it. Like, there's a member of the cast. Punisher's friend Curtis. His actor has some actual real scars. His real scars are worse than Jigsaw's fake scars.
Cause.
I got real New York there for a second. I'm going native. I'm enjoying season 2 so far. I'm at episode 8. So far, it's managed to avoid the usual Marvel Netflix thing of solving, the Marvel Netflix thing of having a huge battle midway through the season that should by all means solve the conflict, and it doesn't. Or even worse, just changing the villain altogether midway through the season.
Yeah.
Managed to avoid that for the most part. They are sticking with the Marvel Netflix thing of having 2 villains per season. In this case, not only is there Jigsaw, there's also the Christian cultist and implied white supremacist John Pilgrim. And while John Pilgrim was introduced as the villain first before Jigsaw, they're both kind of functioning equally as villains right now. We're not getting a Diamondback Cottonmouth situation, thankfully.
Right.
Or an Elektra Punisher situation. But they are keeping the government conspiracy still going, but they're making it more kind of like where now that's not the aspect Frank is busy with. It's just kind of a thing they said, distantly. What I said on the forum, Punisher Season 2 is getting very Metal Gear. For some reason. Because the main plot lines it's running right now are, Jigsaw is assembling a gang of disenfranchised military veterans who are angry with the way the civilian world is. And he's organizing them into a gang that will, of course, cause terror across New York. And the Christian cultist, John Pilgrim, is working for a corporation that is seeking to take over the government. Those are both Metal Gear plots. It certainly doesn't help that Jigsaw refers to Frank as his brother. Because now you're just thinking of Liquid Snake. And I'm imagining Jigsaw standing on top of a Metal Gear. Brother! We're going to ride these bombs into the 21st century, Frank! Being a Metal Gear fan, I like more Metal Gear. I'll say that. And also admit that in these broad arcs, they can't really just stick with Punisher butchering street gangs. They need him to have something more of an imposing threat. Because, I mean, they aren't going to really give him supervillains, because Punisher always tries to maintain somewhat more of a mundane tone.
Right.
And common street criminals, outside of the occasional badass, such as Jigsaw or John Pilgrim, aren't really that intimidating in themselves, so I guess they kind of have to do government conspiracies and all that. But it is really weird, and it gets in the way of the punishing.
Yep.
The weird thing is, like, Frank comes at there's the famous John Bernthal punishing moment of when he goes into the pawn shop in Daredevil. And he goes there to get a weapon of some kind, right?
Right.
But then the pawn shop owner, not recognizing that he's the fucking Punisher, offers to sell him kiddie porn. So then we see Frank pick...
When you said that at first, I didn't realize it was 2 D's and not 2 T's.
Oh.
So I thought it was like cats. I'm like, what?
He might have had that too. He insisted he had everything. So
Yeah.
we see Frank lock the front door of the pawn shop, pick up a baseball bat, cut, and it just cuts, and we can figure what Frank did.
Mm-hmm.
And in season 2, he unfortunately has a sidekick. Well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, depending on what direction they're going to take with it. Because her name is Rachel, and that's a very important name with modern Punisher. But there's a moment where they need to develop some film. So they go and they find the local pornography filmmaker, whatever. And it's shown, or at least assumed, that he makes pedophilic pornography. And Frank nearly kills him, and Rachel convinces him not to. And
You're ruining the show, Rachel.
That's what I was thinking. This is the Punisher. You don't convince him not to kill a pedophile. People are tuning in to watch him kill a pedophile. What are you talking about? Admittedly, he does burn down the porn studio, but...
Something, it's not a choice or whatever the hell they're trying to freaking normalize pedophilia with right now.
I try to keep politics off the podcast, and I really try to keep pedophiles off the podcast.
Probably so on that last part.
Yeah. With that said, I guess the rare political statement we won't be afraid to make is, if you're listening to this and you are a pedophile, fuck you. Seriously. Go fuck yourself. Rip your dick off and shove it directly up your ass. Preacher style. So anyways, yeah, Punisher Season 2's it's solid so far. It made the really good decision of, there's one particular cast member, the aforementioned Curtis, who in Season 1 largely did not serve much of a purpose at all, outside of a side plot that went nowheres. And they're focusing on him a lot more in Season 2, which is really good, because it actually, not only does it give Frank an actual friend, so we can see more of Frank not being, Frank actually talking and not just franking, you know, or franking or Rorschaching, your choice. And having the side character actually fulfill a role is nice. So, you know.
Right.
And it's hard for me to talk about too much. Like, the John Pilgrim character, I'm not exactly sure where that'll go. I'm assuming it's going to end with Punisher versus, like, 20 neo-Nazis.
Right.
But we're not exactly, like, they're also kind of making it out like he might be trying to hide it, like he's a former neo-Nazi who turned to Christianity as a way of redemption or something. They haven't explained very much about John Pilgrim as a character because they're trying to keep him as a very intimidating assassin, mysterious assassin type character so far. He's the Anton Chigurh of this cast, definitely. So, but yeah, I'll talk more about that next week. I'll also talk more about Symphony of the Night next week, because here's something. Once you beat Symphony of the Night, you can play through it again in New Game Plus, obviously, and get exclusive access to a couple new items. But more notably, the New Game Plus also lets you play as Richter or Maria instead. Which is really really fun, because that means that this is a game you'll play through 4 times. Regular Alucard Plus, Richter, and Maria. And Richter is way stronger in Symphony than he is in Rondo.
Does he still have the moonwalk?
I haven't checked yet. He wouldn't really have the need to, though. I have to check, though, because the moonwalk is part of what makes him great. But I noticed playing Rondo, man, there's a lot of moves that Richter has in Smash that he does not have in Rondo at all. And it's like, oh, because they're all Symphony moves.
Yeah.
Because Simon's only had 2 Castlevania games, and they were both NES. And Pink, you look at most of Simon's moveset in Smash, and you're like, there's no way any of these moves ever existed on an NES game.
I don't even know if they could have a functioning whip on the NES.
Barely. Well, I don't think he could spin his whip. Symphony might be the first game where the whip spinning was introduced.
It was 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was a Simon game, so I guess Simon could spin the whip, huh? But Richter's ability to spin the whip, by the way, is really strong, because it effectively just means anything that touches him dies.
Yeah, welcome to Cabal.
Yeah. Whereas when you use it in Smash, I have not actually tried Richter or Simon spinning the whip in Smash. Have you, Pink? Like, in-game?
Yeah.
Is it actually
It's
very
not-
effective?
His playstyle is very weird because I think all of his special moves are projectiles. He throws the axe, he throws a little boomerang thing.
uppercut.
I don't know what it is.
The uppercut.
Yeah, he's got the uppercut and the holy water. So that's 3 projectiles and his recovery.
Yeah.
So,
keep going.
all right. So his whip spin is his neutral air, I'm guessing.
The whip spin is if you on the ground, if you neutral, press and hold the attack button, and then just spin the left stick around.
I gotcha. I've not done that yet because I don't play as Simon all that much. Despite the fact that random always gives them to me, I'm not one for his neutral game.
I
I'm
absolutely love.
usually
I absolutely love Richter, but with that said, like if you want to play Richter aggressively, you need to use the dive kick a lot, and using the dive kick a lot can kill you very quickly.
right. I'm always doing the down. What do you call them? Just the down A's.
The down smash where he where he circles himself with the whip. Yeah, I should use down smashes more, but I don't. But yeah, so a lot of the moves in that game that Simon and Richter use are actually taken from Richter's moves in Symphony. So I guess I should have seen that coming. I'm curious how Maria will play, but I'll get around to her once I beat Richter's campaign. And yeah, I think that's about all I've done. Is there any... Oh, I picked up Resident Evil 2 this morning.
Very nice.
Which is why this podcast started a little late. I lost track of time.
I told Addy he's either asleep or he's playing Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 2 is very, very good. I will say that. And I'm probably going to end up spending a lot of time in this. Because here's the thing. They brought back the scenario system from Resident Evil, the original version of Resident Evil 2. What that means is that when you start the game, you're forced to pick between Leon and Claire. And whoever you pick is then put in what is called the A scenario, where they have to go through. And then you have to play through the other character in what is called the B scenario. And then you get to reverse the characters so that instead Leon goes through what Claire went through and Claire goes through what Leon went through. And then after that you get to play as Hunk. And then after that you get to play as Tofu. So in total you will be playing through the game 6 times.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Thing is, they're also going to be implementing a Mercenaries mode, because every Resident Evil game does, though they probably won't call it Mercenaries mode anymore. And they're also going to implement a randomizer mode where every item and enemy in the game is swapped.
You start and fight the final boss.
You just open the door to the police station, get donkey kicked by Birkin, back out. I am really excited for all of this. Have you guys ever been told about Tofu?
Yes.
I'm not.
So, Resident Evil 2 had a model that was designed exclusively just to test hitboxes. And they called him Tofu. And just for fun, they decided that you can play through the game as Tofu. And here, let me get a proper picture of him. This is what Tofu looks like in the new game. I'm gonna need a timestamp. get a load of tofu. So
That's great.
he is an
love it.
he's an animate block of tofu, and there is no explanation for why he exists. But the entire idea behind him is he can't pick up items. And
I don't imagine he could, even if he wanted to.
He starts with the knife and a couple healing items, and he has to go through the entire game with the knife and a couple healing items. It is the ultimate difficulty mode. I've not got to play it, and now I will have to prove that I am the greatest at Resident Evil. Now, I don't know how the fuck you beat any bosses with just the knife, but here we go. It's really great. Like, in the original Resident Evil 2, he had Mickey Mouse. He had Rayman hands, at least.
Yeah.
Here, he doesn't even have that, so it's just going to be a knife swinging through the air.
Perfect.
And the thing that it was really goofy in the original Resident Evil games where the knife was just absolutely awful. Like, you remember Addy when we played Resident Evil 1? As soon as we got to the first item box, I told you, drop the knife. Get rid of the knife immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for a good reason. So, I am ready for tofu. And Resident Evil 2 is fucking amazing. Guys, I think we can call this a podcast. Who is ready for some Dragon Ball Fighter Z?
I am.
You guys have been ready for the last 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm ready to stop. I've been brutalized ever since the podcast began.
Don't worry, you're at the middle rung of the ladder, Pink. You now have someone lower than you.
Here's the thing, Pink, you've been able to defeat my Beerus at least once recently.
Oh, thank God you're playing Beerus.
Why?
There was no way I was going to touch Beerus.
Beerus is one of my mains.
Isn't he the trap character in that game?
No. But he might be, actually.
I think his thing is like laying traps all over the screen and like detonatables.
Yeah.
You're more of a trap character than a trap character guy than I am. I'm very much not.
Yeah, I mean but right now I mean Beerus hit and Ginyu because of the color scheme.
The purple men.
Yeah. Before this, I was Ginyu, Hit, and Boo.
Oh, I refuse to believe Boo is not Pink's new favorite. The fat ball of bubble gum.
Yep.
And then in the beta, I was Boo, 16, and Trunks.
Really 16?
Yeah.
You're not much of a command grab character, are you?
No.
Why 16 then? 16's the command grab character of the game.
Because 16 had easily what's the word? Easily stringable command grabs.
Ah, that's true. Arxis is one of the few games that allows you to command grab combo, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Well, say bye, Addy. Say bye, Pink.
Goodbye.
Bye,
there we go. Hey, he interrupted Pink instead of me. Wonderful. Folks, we will see you later.